Ever wonder who or what you're living next door to? For a local family, it's been hard to stomach that meth was being made inside their neighbor's house.
Drug houses, and particularly in this case, meth lab homes, are destroying our neighborhoods one house at a time.
September 28, 2011 is a day Lizette Downey will never forget. The day police raided her neighbor's house in Fort Wayne, finding a meth lab.
The hazmat suits and the whole 9 yards. That was extremely disturbing, and it was hours, and it was worse than they thought, and all from basic everyday items that you can get over the counter.
The drugs and ingredients used were confiscated, but as far as the permanent damage to the house, more than a year later, nothing has been done.
As part of a neighborhood association, we feel our hands are tied because there isn't enough repercussions for property owners.
The process to make meth creates toxic chemicals in the air that soak into materials inside the home, like drywall and floor coverings, posing a health risk. That's why health department officials say no one can live in this house. But being right next door, it begs the question, is it a danger to Lizette and her family's health?
I'm assured it's not, but it's hard to think it couldn't be.
This door is even bolted shut on the garage. That's because there's carpet inside here that was ripped out of this home because it's toxic from the chemicals that were inside here. But again, no one is responsible of getting rid of the contaminated materials.
Well, I was planning on putting my house on the market. I can't do that. And talking to homeowners, and they're talking about when they want to sell, I'm like, it's all on hold because it's indefinite. This is a several-year process, I'm afraid.
With property values at stake, Lizette decided to get involved and try to make a difference.
There's limitations because the state really only requires documentation, and from the health department, they only require them to come in and handle the lab in terms of confiscating the product and drugs, but not requiring any cleanup. So it's just left out there.
Lizette wants to make a change, but knows it's something that will involve agencies at the local and state level to get a system in place.
It comes back to we don't have enough resources to accommodate this issue because it's antiquated law and it's not been a priority.
Lizette has been in talks with her city councilman and state representative, but understands getting new laws on the books is anything but a quick process. For now, this contaminated home sits vacant, with no deadline to be cleaned of the toxic chemicals that remain inside. In Fort Wayne, I'm Stephanie Parkinson. Meth labs are a growing problem in Indiana. Last year, 1,500 labs were busted. The more shocking fact, state police believe that was only 5% of the meth labs in the state.
Probably many folks are unaware that meth labs are now operating right in the city limits. We think about these as out in the rural areas or up in the hills or whatever, and we see them operating in our neighborhoods.
In 2006, a new state law was enacted certifying local law enforcement agencies to process meth labs. Since then, 49 operational labs have been found in Allen County, mostly in the city of Fort Wayne, but 19 of those are still vacant with toxic chemicals left inside.
The law is written in such a way that the onus is on that property owner to clean it up, and more or less, if they so choose.
That's the frustrating part for officials. The law can't stop the home from sitting vacant and being left as is.
You cannot inhabit the home until it's abated, but it doesn't require that the home be abated.
This is an example of one of these meth labs. It can all be concealed in a backpack, but it's what these household items leave behind. Toxic chemicals in these homes that's concerning. It soaks into the carpet, the furniture, and even the drywall, making these homes a health hazard.
And when this law was passed, I think it was a first step.
But local enforcement officials hope to see more action at the state level to make sure these homes are properly cleaned.
They need to tie something to it requiring that it be done within a time frame or a penalty occurs.
We've got to come to grips with this. How do we clean this up? What do we do collectively as a city and a county and a state?
Although county and city officials can't take action against the people who own these homes, the health department does routinely check to make sure these houses are closed up and no one is living inside. In Fort Wayne, I'm Stephanie Parkinson.